Brickheads and Dark Knight fans, we got something special going on here because Warner Brothers is cooking up possibly the best Batman game that we've ever seen. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight was announced on August 19th, and we have been hyped ever since. But just a couple days ago, on September 22nd, Warner Brothers gave us a special behind-the-scenes look to their little feature that they did, where they invited a bunch of YouTubers and creators to come out and play the game for the first time. And holy crap, does this game look incredible. I mean, everything that we love from the Skywalker Saga about its big open world, all the different planets you can explore, all the good things from that game, like the combat system and the attention to detail, I mean, all of that has just been amplified here in Gotham City. And guys, let's take a second to talk about that little behind the scenes video that they just dropped, because we got some access to a lot of new information here. So the mission that they gave us a little sneak peek at was the Ace Chemicals mission, and this is the mission where we actually encounter Red Hood and he falls into the acid and becomes the Joker. So not only do we get a look at a few of the cutscenes for this Ace Chemicals mission, we get a look at the Ace Chemicals building itself, we get more of a look at the open world and just Gotham City, that first island. You guys know there's going to be those 4 islands that we can explore, each of which looks really dense and has a lot of things to do in a really big area to explore. So the fact that we get 4 of them, God knows what other little goodies are going to be unlockable and what other areas might exist outside of those 4 islands. You've got Wayne Manor and the Batcave, which who knows if that's going to exist inside like the dense city itself, or if that's going to be an area that is outside of the city. And we have that whole like Rocky Mountain area from Batman Begins where he goes and trains. So who knows if we're going to be able to go and explore that area in free roam as well. I'm hoping so. And of course, we've gotten tons of footage of the combat by now. It looks so smooth, so buttery. It's basically, everyone keeps comparing it to the Arkham combat, which it is very similar to. But those of us who have played Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, this basically looks like just an extension of that combat system from that game. And I guess we didn't realize it at the time, but that combat system is quite fluid. It is very Arkham-like now that I think about it. And it's not quite as polished and as smooth as an Arkham combat system would be. But you still have that mechanic where you can kind of quickly zip around the different enemies around you, and you don't necessarily have to be right on top of one enemy. You can kind of spam the attack button and really quickly zip between the different guys around you, as well as the parry or counter mechanic with the triangle button. That's all there in Skywalker Saga as well. So it looks like they just kind of really polished it up and really refined it and made it even more Arkham-like for Legacy of the Dark Knight here. And that's one thing that people are most excited about this game, is having a Lego game that has this level of a combat system to it. It gives it the ability to not go stale so quickly. The gameplay, right? The gameplay is dynamic, it's engaging, it's fun, it's fast-paced, and it's fluid. It's not gonna go stale. It's not like the old days where you're playing the original Lego Batman and you only have one attack button and one little 3-punch combo that you can do over and over again. These characters in this new Lego Batman, although few of them, with only 7 confirmed characters so far, I know, only 7, but they are very, very dynamic. They've each got different abilities, different gadgets, different combos that they can execute, so each character is going to be really, really individual. They've all got tons and tons and tons, 20, 30 plus different costumes that they can wear. Yes, it is a shame that we won't be getting a larger roster of characters. I really wish that we were, and they could add more in, right? This is just a pre-alpha build of the game, so they really could introduce a lot more characters before the game is fully announced and dropped. But so far, all we know is that there's going to be 7 characters, and none of which are villains that you can play as. So I hope they give you the ability to not only just, you know, dress up the villains in the cutscenes and stuff like that, but actually play as the Joker, play as Two-Face, play as characters like that. You know, I don't see why we would go from a game like Skywalker Saga that has such a big roster of characters. Every single Star Wars character you can imagine from the movies, they were in that game, whether it was a DLC afterwards or whatever it was, which, by the way, Legacy of the Dark Knight here claims that it will not contain any DLC or microtransactions. So that's another beautiful thing about this game so far, if they hold true to that. But they really do, I think, need to introduce a healthy roster of maybe 20, 25, 30 characters. That would be unbelievable. And if they all had the ability to have different gadgets and different gliders and different animations, different combos, all those things, this would truly be just an unbelievable Batman game. There's no other Batman game that gives you that much freedom to play as all these different characters, as well as you know, the combat system and the open world exploration of the Arkham series. I really think that's the only thing that can hold them back. If they truly only give us these 7 characters to play as and that's it, it's going to be hard to kind of put this game over the Arkham series as like, okay, this is the definitive best Batman game ever, right? But I think if you really flesh out that character roster, and it doesn't have to be 100-something characters, it just has to be like 20. You guys give us that, and this is truly going to be the best Batman game that you can play with the most freedom, the most you can do, the most fun to have. And it's not just an Arkham game, right? It's a Lego Batman game first. Like, there's puzzles, there's all the different things you guys know and love about the Lego games. It's all there, but it's just got a really complex combat system for the first time, and that makes it exciting. It makes it dynamic. There's all these different finishers you guys have seen in the trailers where he's pulling trash cans over people's heads. So there's a lot of fun things that they did with this game, and a lot of homages that they paid to not just every single Batman Lego game that came before this, but all the Batman Arkham games, all of the Batman TV series, all the comic books, all the different movies that have come out, old and new, 1960s all the way till now. All that stuff is reflected and paid homage to in this game in some way, whether it's a Batsuit that you can wear, whether it's an Easter egg that you can find just hanging on the wall, different posters around the map, whether it's cutscenes within the actual story itself, which, by the way, is a unique story developed just for this game. So you're going to be able to play that Batman origin story from all the way when he was a kid to all the way, you know, when he's in the heart of being Batman. And it's going to show you all those different cutscenes. We're going to have cutscenes that are inspired from the Arkham series. We'll have cutscenes that are inspired by the Batman 2022. We'll have cutscenes that are inspired by the Dark Knight trilogy. But in the end, it all ties together to be its own unique story, which I think is just the coolest thing that they could have possibly done. TT Games is calling this a love letter to Batman, and it truly feels that way. It truly is. They've really encompassed everything that the Dark Knight stands for, everything that Batman has stood for the past, whatever, 3, 4, 5 decades now. They've really encapsulated all of that into one Lego game, and I think that is so cool. So with all that said, guys, be sure to go ahead and check out the video for yourself that Warner Brothers dropped. It's on their official YouTube page. It's the most recent thing that they've dropped on September 22nd. You guys can see a full behind-the-scenes look at this game and the event that they held. That's gonna do it for today's video. It's your boy Obi Brick Kenobi signing out. Peace.